Not sure. I never know what the lead-in time for this is. It says I'm live now, so I assume I'm live. If I'm not, then who knows? Get a little drinky drink. Get that going. And yeah, it's draw time. Great. That's exactly how it should work. You should totally force your friends to watch my channel. That's awesome. No, welcome Jonas. Welcome Hunter. Yeah, that's kind of it. Ta-da! Welcome back, everybody. It is June 18th. What is episode 75? I cannot believe we are 75 episodes into this Drawcast. I kind of like the idea that it is more of a podcast type thing where we sketchily sketch and woodly whoop. Bless you. But yeah, let's see what's going on today. I got my rugby mug going, which is nice. I got my shirts the other day from Redbubble, and they're okay. I'm gonna try to find a better shirt company. Not a big fan of their cloth. I want to find, like, if you know the best, like, most comfortable merch shirts that exist, let me know where you got them from, and I will take a look at that. That's totally fine. Tippy, welcome. Okay, no problem. Yeah, we'll see you in a bit. But yeah, like, it's good. The Redbubble shirts are good, but I want to find... I might have to actually go to a screen printing place and, like, do a run of shirts. So that might be something we try to kickstart and or just take things for. Because I'd love to do that. I'd love to have more shirts. Rugby shirts would be great. But yeah, stickers are going out the door. We got some new Patreon members, so welcome. You'll be getting your sticker packets soon. I think that's all the garbage out of the way. It's not garbage. They're really good stickers, but, like, you know, money stuff. Also, you broke me yesterday. Too many squats. Now I can't stand up. So, I did so many squats yesterday. I'm glad I'm not the only one that's out of shape. So, I don't know what we're drawing today. I have some fun ideas. I was going to get the video done yesterday, and then I put a hole in one of my water pipes. So I spent the rest of the day dealing with that. So, yeah. It turns out the people that owned our house before we moved in decided to do some really creative plumbing. And they decided, hey, you know what? Where would be a great spot for a water pipe? Right through this wall. And my stud finder did not detect that there was metal there, and I put a screw in it. The only pipe in that whole goddamn wall, and I put a screw through it. So I got to replace that. I got to replace that like 6 inches of pipe. I have no plan for today because I had no time to plan anything because I've been running my brain out for the last like 8.5 hours. So I kind of just wanted to talk about art today, draw whatever, and possibly, I don't know, do stuff. Yeah, I don't really have a plan. I wanted to talk about some of the projects I'm working on right now, maybe do some art for that, and then I was gonna do the commission piece for the skull thing I was drawing on Monday, but I really want to dedicate like a whole day again to that without, well, being stressed out. So I think we'll wait till Monday and redo that because there's some edits that they want, and that'll be fun. And then after that, I have a Warcraft themed commission, which will be cool. I'm designing logos again. I don't know how this happens. Like, I went to school for logo design, and I did it, and I hated it. And then I went to school again for not logo design. I'm still doing logo design. It's necessary. Like, it's good. It's not bad. It's not bad work. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind doing it. It's just not my favorite thing. Yeah, there's actually... So, Miller just said it would be really cool if there was an open world D&D game where you could build houses and such. There's actually a lot of books. Well, not a lot. There are books that exist specifically for that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you could totally do that. Yep, those are all very viable things. In fact, if you'd like, Miller, I can link you the Pathfinder rules for that if you want to look at it. Yeah, that's a very good reason. There's I've done things like that in the past. There are also Pathfinder books for dealing with armies, like groups and squadrons. And what was the other one? There's individual units, swarms, and what the hell is the other one? 5e, yeah, yeah. 3.5 had some stuff too, but Pathfinder has some additional things for units. That's not doesn't sound quite right, but you can basically they have like battlefield combat, so you could play a larger scale battle, and so those all exist. If you and you can convert those over to 5e pretty easily, if you want to do that. But homebrewing is always a great option for that kind of stuff, as well as. Yep. I think jump. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely worth doing some research into it. What have I done? What are you doing, Jonas? Oh man. Apparently it's Monster Day. Uh, I think we somehow transitioned to Minecraft, which is totally fine. And you were talking about creepers being an interesting monster. creepers creepers are I don't know if they were accidental. That sounds familiar. Oh, the heads were broken, right? Rah, rah, rah. So the interesting thing that I wanted to say about creepers, which Dippy just said that they were originally a pig with a bad rendered texture, which is great. I love it. The interesting thing about creepers is they are one of the only monsters in Minecraft that are directly opposed to the core concept of Minecraft. They destroy your buildings, and that everything else is just like, oh, combat creatures, but the creepers actually negate your build. Can the Endermen destroy your bases? Oh, they just steal the block. Okay, so that's cool too. Gotcha. Okay, so I didn't know that about Enderman. That's interesting. Gotcha. But that is a really good example of that's actually like appreciated game design, which is funny, and I think that's why they're so like so destructive because like the zombies are just like zombies, yeah, get out of here, whatever. The Endermen are creepy, but the creepers are like the anti core mechanic game. Um, What did I do to this face? I'm trying real hard. Somehow I've been drawing so many monsters that I've forgotten how to draw people faces, which is another reason that my the live play video is going so slowly because I keep trying to draw people's faces and it's just like, that's not right at all. I'm so mad. Okay. So I just did something wrong here, and this has been my problem with faces for the last month. No, I did that. I did that right. This is where the nose should be. So, apparently we have a Minecraft podcast now where I don't get to talk, so that's cool. Creepers just want hugs. Creepers do just want hugs, Hellion. Helbin? Is that Helbin? Okay. But are so... I'm placing the mouth wrong, and I'm placing the face wrong. So, my issue is I've been drawing eyes up here my entire life. And I don't think that's right. I think I've been doing it wrong. Really, this should be the eyebrow, which should then lead into... This is not a skull, by the way. This is a thing, because I don't want to do more squats. Mapping a face, right? I went to the store to get some stuff to fix my pipe, and I didn't want to get out of my car because I sat down and then I was like, oh no, I can't move now. So, yeah. So what I've been doing is I've been adding the eyeballs like up here, and it makes the whole face weird. And I need to figure out my eye placement because this should be the top of the eye. See, I think that looks much better, but I've been doing... And then this should be at 2/3. The mouth should be at 2/3. Drax. Hold on, I'm gonna get some green in here, and I'm gonna break my own rules and draw on Jonas's stuff. Actually, now that I think about it, his tattoos are red. Bri, welcome, thank you. Dig the pumpkin. What day? It is Thursday. I can't squat no more, so I think we're done with squats for a while. My whole office is destroyed because it's full of everything that was in my utility room. I got some free weights. I got some free weights right here. Let's do that. Let's do some free weights. Oh, I can't stand up. Oh, old man noises. Did you say breathe or breed? Okay. That still didn't answer my question. If you live and breathe like a goblin in your little cave, that's your own business. But, that's cool. Good for you, I guess. I just lost count. I'll do 8 more. I'm doing free weights because Bri tipped me. So, yep. So my rule, for those of you that are just now joining, which I doubt, I think we have a very dedicated viewership, but I'll explain it anyways. If you tip me, or I screw something up, or I say something wrong, I gotta exercise because that's how I'm getting my workout in. Oh, Oh yeah, no, I'm squatted out. Yesterday was a slog. Some. Very much appreciate it. It's just an internet thing. Hey, you're always welcome to join our workout group. Nice job. That's half as many as you were supposed to do, but it's okay. So we have a... So this is the thing. When I'm doing these push-ups, no one is required to do that. Please don't hurt yourself. Set your own rules. Like, this is the way that I do this, and the reason I do this is because I'm a very avid video gamer. And it used to be that when Jump Rope and I would sit down and play a video game, we would sit down and play a video game. Especially when we were in college, it was like, we have a 3-day weekend. We're not going to do anything for 3 days. And so it very much became... if we're playing League of Legends, this is when it started. We're like, if we play a League of Legends game, we're going to do 10 push-ups at the end of the game. Then, for every death that you get, you have to do another 5 push-ups. For every kill you get, you can take away 2 push-ups. So there is like a net neutral area. And then it was if you get a support kill or a support, however the hell that works. Assist. There we go. Thank you. You take away 1 push-up. So if you did really, really well in your game, you might not have to do any push-ups. But if you did really poorly, then you have to do a lot. I tipped you win. There's probably, again, more push-ups. 20 more. But the thing is, after doing that for a while, we discovered that, if you have a really bad game, you have to do like 120 push-ups. You basically just stop wanting to play. So... what we did is we worked it out to where it's basically find out what works for you. So for me, I can do a lot more push-ups than Jump Rope can. Jump Rope can do a lot more like crunches than I can. So we usually offset it. So yeah, if 20 is too many, 20 is usually what we get, right? Every day. We're going to do at least 20 every day. So if that's too many, maybe do 1 for every $5, right? That's not too bad. Or every time you get tipped, do 2 push-ups. Or every time you screw something up in the artwork. Okay, I'm not going to do... Yeah, we'll just do that. So there are other ways to do it. And sometimes you can switch to jumping jacks. But just getting up and out of the chair is great. And I need to do it more. So that's my plan. That's why I do it. I don't have a stand-up desk. I could build one, I guess. Yeah. See, I'm a fat kid. I was a fat kid for a long time. Okay, so this is looking better. I think I'm getting better with this shape. A Swedish mile. How far is the Swedish mile? Oh, wow. Do 2 minutes of horse stance, big oofs after the first few. Yeah, horse stances, that's a great way to do it. An American mile is just 1 mile. I don't know. Gotcha. I thought, yeah, I think kilometers. Yeah, miles in America, it's like 2 point something kilometers. I don't know why I'm correcting you. No one can hear you on the stream, so I don't have to correct. Hey, everybody, 1 mile is a mile, just so everybody knows. Yeah, 1.6 kilometers is a mile in American speak. Because I need to practice faces so I can get the stupid. It's not stupid. I really like it. The live play. I have to draw like 8 characters that are all humanoid, and it turns out I'm really bad at faces. So, what was that, Miller? Yeah, I do use layers when I draw. Yep. So what a lot of artists do is they will do a sketch like this. They'll then drop the opacity of it down to like, I usually go like 24, but you could definitely do 50 if that's where you're comfortable. Create a new layer, and then you do your line work over the top. And then that's how you get really nice, clean lines. I'm not a big fan of this method. I'm just not. I used to do it all the time. It works really well if you're doing like professional inking, and I might have to go back to this for the video. But when you do that, I miss my sketchy lines. I really like my sketchy lines, and yeah, it's just part of my style that I decided to keep. Not that I can't get them again, but it just doesn't feel as... It feels cleaner. It does feel cleaner when you do it this way. And I'm not a big fan of it for some reason. I'm in a weird zone of... Weird zone of truth. A weird zone of... Great, brain. Thank you. Thank you for forgetting how words work for a little bit. I'm in a weird place. That looks weird to me now. See what I'm saying? His face looks too low. Is that wrong? Let's flip the image. Let's see what happens. This is what I'm talking about. It's just, it's strange. I think the eyes are too far apart. And I drew it sideways. That's what's going on. This side is only this wide, and this side is this wide, because I drew it crooked. Okay, we're learning things. We are learning things. No, I'm in a weird place where my artwork is, I still am drawing lines, very much like a illustrator or comic book style, but I use my lines painterly, which is not correct. It's not the correct way to do it. So I'm in a weird zone between 2 different art styles, and I'm afraid one day I'm going to have to actually just say, like, to advance my art, I think I need to pick one and do it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Simple stuff is good. Mm-hmm. Nice. See, that sounds amazing. I love that kind of stuff. And honestly, like, so that's some... Go ahead. Actually, finish what you were saying. I like where you're going. Go for it. Sure. I think that's fair. I think doing art the way you want to do it is really the best way. The best method. There's an argument for this is strictly one of those sellout things. Basically, like, Instagram has an art style, right? There's an art style on Instagram that is successful. There are that's fair. And ArtStation has a very specific art style that is very successful. And DeviantArt has its own art style. Like, you can kind of see where these things would be popular based on when you look at them. I drew that crooked again. Damn it. I think I need to change my desk up. I think that's my problem. Is like I'm just sitting really poorly. I need to correct my posture. Anyways, so if I want to attract more people to my art, I have to shift that direction. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hunter 717, greetings, fellas. Welcome, Hunter Corvus. Welcome, Heldon. Welcome. On the downside of that, it's kind of like a sellout moment. Like, oh, do I draw the things people like so that they see my art, or do I just keep drawing what I like and hopefully eventually people see it? And that's kind of what I've been doing right now, is just drawing what I like, and that's fine. But there's always that in the back of my mind, like, should I conform a little bit, or should I reach out in those areas? Wonder Boy. I don't know if I've seen that one. Okay, so see, now, according to my stuff, yeah, I mean, that is hopefully the plan. See, okay, here's what I've done. This is what I normally do. And what I've done here is pushed the nose and the jaw wrong, because this, once again, should be that, not this. The nose should be here, and the mouth should be here. And so what I've basically done is I've taken a person's face, and then I've drawn the face like this. Boop. Oh, hey, check it out. It's Adventure Time. Now we know how Finn is drawn with a tiny face. Anyways, so that's my problem. I've been shifting the face around wrong, and it's been screwing me up. And I think I've just gotten in the habit of drawing that way. And it's incorrect, so I just have to kind of correct myself. And that's, something you got to do from time to time. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, like this is the best way to, when people say like practice, this is how you practice. You draw something, you critique it yourself, you can have other people critique it, and then you try again. It's just constant iteration. So let's do the circle again. Try to get a circle here. So this is going to be my skull base, like this is the skull circular thing. And then I'm going to draw a halfway mark, so my chin should be that far away from the top. I need to make sure my posture is correct again, so I'm actually doing this right. Jaws going down. Jaws going down. Okay, so this is going to be my eyebrows. So that's going to be my eye line. Yep. There are a lot of great... Oh, I made this guy a pug. Yeah, there's a couple different methods. There are a couple different methods you can use. I think Proco has a really good Loomis? Yeah, the Loomis method is pretty close to what I do. And... That's the way to do it. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do it, and basically it's understanding the structure lines, the things that are underneath it, which is also why I draw a lot of skulls, because it's like, but so then the cheekbones go down to the cheek, and then we're gonna go eyeballs. However you want. If you want to draw something that's not human, you draw however you want. If you want to draw a dragon, you can. Yeah, look up dragon or cat skulls and just kind of extrude them out. I can break down some stuff real quick. So now the second thing I've screwed up is here's the nose, which should be the point of the eye, and then the center of the eye should be the mouth. So if I keep drawing this correctly for my proportions, this is what it should look like. Brr! That's not right. Well, I mean, that works for like a Dick Tracy character, I guess. I'll give him a big old... reference. Yeah, I mean, a lot of your questions are just finding references and then adapting it. If you want to try to draw, a fox kitsune or a fox person, you just look up some foxes and adapt it. Bernie Hogarth. Let's check this out. Yeah. Yeah, these are great volume. This is a great volume volume sketch, which is really, really good. I do love these. And these are really good for rendering once again. And that's so finding the lines to draw from this, and this is in the voice channel. If anybody's interested, you can check that out. We are in the Discord chat today if you want to join us. But yeah, that's perfect. I love that. I have a really cool figure. It's a 3D like fully posable figure that is skeletal, which is really cool. So I can usually turn it and get the skull proportions I want out of it. But like, oh man, that's just terrible. Everything I just did right there is just terrible. I've done a lot of profile pictures, and I think my problem was I really love drawing helmets and Warforged and robots, so my proportions have just become skewed because of basically I've been extending out all this stuff purposefully to make it look, sci-fi and unique, very Daft Punk. And it has screwed up my facial proportions so bad that I am scared to draw people. But yeah, so that looks cool for a robot. Does not look so cool for a person. Because it should be like this. And then eyebrows, eyeballs. Not really. I have in the past. And a mouth and then a jaw right there. So I can do profile pretty good, but I've forgotten. See, like how close that forehead is to that glass. That's terrible. That's a bad helmet, but it looks cool. Boop. You're having a hard time drawing organic. Something you might want to try if you're struggling with organic materials, organic drawings, is are you using a mouse? Yeah, that's probably one of the reasons. You might want to try using the pen tool. Well, so this is sorry, don't use a pen like a stylus. There's in Photoshop, or what program are you using? Actually, Sketchbook. So Sketchbook Pro should have a pen tool, most likely. I have to look that up. Let me look that up first, see if that's correct. And what that does, it allows you to use vectors instead of actual pulled lines. Sketchbook Pro. Pen tool. It does have a pen tool. Wonderful. So there's something called a Bezier curve. And let me see if I have Photoshop open. I do have Photoshop open. Wonderful. Let's do this. Doop, doop. So, basically, because I can see what the issue you're probably having is you're using, doing a lot of like straight lines with the mouse. If you go to the pen tool, you can create points, and then you can curve them out this way to create your shapes. I assume you just push P. It would be my guess. I'm not using Sketchbook Pro. I might have to find somebody that uses Sketchbook Pro. But yeah, you can just basically create shapes, and then you can go back in later and actually adjust the curves of them, and that'll help you get those. I'm pretty sure it's built into the program, so you should be able to do that. But yeah, look up some tutorials on the pen tool, and I think that might help you out because you can really get some really nice curves. With that, and it's a different art style. It is a different art style that I don't do very often, partially because it gets vector images, and I'm not a super fan of vector images. But there is also like the free pen tool, which will kind of generate those curves for you, and then you can just go back in and edit them. So it's a little cleaner, it's a little easier than rasterized art, and then that's that. So yeah, nice, Jonas. That looks cool. That looks cool. I like it. It's good stuff. Okay, back to faces. Here we go. So, skull cap, jaw. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, eyes and bottom of the ear. So it should be like that. Let's do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll readjust this for the jawbone. Halfway through for the nose. And then 2/3 for the mouth. That's pretty good. That one's doing better. All right, now I just got to figure out how to draw eyeballs. Hey, I'm Rookzer0. Welcome to my art channel. Follow me while I learn how to draw. Welcome, Andres. Welcome back to the art channel. Yeah, sorry. I still have this photo open. I can't actually see the chat. That's better. I would say that normally the best way to tell people that you're somewhere is by introducing that you were there. That's a good method. I'm sorry, I didn't automatically realize you were there by you being there. You're so sneaky. Really, I just didn't introduce myself. I didn't say anything on purpose because I didn't want you to bother me. Sorry, that was an anecdote from a party I went to once. Nope, nothing I have good to say about parties I've been to in my life. How many drugs? Is that the question you asked? I actually am very good at not doing drugs. I'm very, very proudful of that. Proudful. That's a skill set. Yeah, anti-peer pressure. That's me. Hey, man. Actually, I've had really good friends. And so going to parties just isn't my thing. Like I said that yesterday. I'm an introvert at heart. I don't really like going to parties, but I have gone to parties, and my friends have always been pretty good about, like, hey man, you want blah blah blah? It's like, no, I don't. They're like, that's fine. And that's really been my experience for a lot of things. A lot of people are like, oh man, peer pressure, super tough. And if that's something you deal with, talk to your friends about it. Like, hey, it's not cool. I don't want to do that. Also, why? Why share your stuff with people that don't want it? That's just stupid. That doesn't make any sense. So I think maybe that was more of an issue with my friends. Like, you want a beer? It's like, I don't really drink. And they're like, that's fine, more beer for me. It's like, that perfect. Everyone's happy. So I tend to do that too. Let's take a look. And I think that might be my issue, is I'm stretching the nose weird. Because, I would say this is very indicative of my art style. That is a face to me. And I think it's a little off. Let's just do some photo references. Let's get some faces. That, once again, not comparable. It's a completely different thing, man. If you want to... You drew a photorealistic photo, and I drew a Pokemon. I suck. It's like, what? You drew what? Can't compare those things. Okay, what's a good face? Who's got a cool face? Let's draw someone. Oh, Tim Roth. Let's draw Tim Roth. Tim Roth is great. Yep. Oh, man. He's got such a good face. Tim Roth, if you're listening, I love your face. It's good stuff. Man. Yeah. The guy from Pulp Fiction. So good. D&D memes are great. Okay, so, yeah, what the F? What the F, yo? What have I done? This nose is so long. Okay. I think so. think that is my issue. It should be at the bottom of the ear. And the bottom of the ear is like right there. That's the tip of the nose. That should be the base of the nose. That should be the base of the nose. Okay. So we're going to have... Ooh, what have I done? No, I screwed this up already. I screwed this up super hard. So the eyes should be up here. Right? Is that the middle ground? That's the middle ground. So we're good. So ear should be like this. Nose. And see, I thought the nose should be halfway between... Is it not halfway? Eyebrows, eyes. Oh. See, once again, I'm using this as my eye line. So if the eyebrows, the side of the eye, so we have a skull here, is at the halfway point. The eyes should be here. Okay, that's pretty good. We're getting there. That should probably be a little lower. All right, I think we're figuring this out. Yeah, definitely get good at drawing your underlines. Because someday you'll forget how faces work, and then you'll have to go back and learn how to do it again. Okay, so there we go. So that's that. That's better. Okay, so what I've been doing here is, with this curve, the nose should really be there. I'm going to copy this whole thing if I can. Let's see if it will let me. Control X, and then I'm going to deselect, and then Control V. Fine. Okay, we got that face. We got that face. Let's try to do this again with the better proportions. The better proportions. So the nose, the better proportions. You take the gumbo and you move it over here. Da! And then if we do this, the cheekbones should actually be out here. And then the mouth should be right here instead. Oh my god, that looks so much better. Now, can we make it look like Tim Roth? That's the question. Let's see if we can make it look like Tim Roth. Maybe that's why all my characters look sad, because they're just like moping their faces down all the time. I don't have a chin. Okay, Tim Roth has these great eyebrow ridges here. He's got a kind of a bulby nose. Doesn't have much droop to it. Kind of pinched. What's his face look like? We got long... Oh, right. Well, that only took 35 minutes for people to start arguing about stuff. do this. He's got some nice jowl action going on, but not super hard. Get a little bit of the beard going down this way. What's the colorization look like? Yeah, so that's you just said what kind of sketchy little lines can add detail. Exactly. Yeah, it looks great. It looks great. So something that can I draw on your stuff again real quick? I'm gonna take a break from Tim Roth here. This is what I was talking about when I said that my style is kind of in between two things, because you could go in here and you could look at like this is most likely its own shape. You have a volume shape here, so you could go in and you could shade all of this stuff and render it out. Like this should actually be like a curve, and you could go in there and do that with, value, just grayscale. Same thing with this. Like this should be darker, and I don't necessarily like doing that, but I love adding the contours. So, and that's where I come in with all the lines I do. Is I look at like, okay, I want this to look rounder. So we'll start adding some curved lines in there, and then we'll start looking at this one, and we'll start giving that some contouring to it. That could be a little harder on the backside. But like all that little bit of added detail, like right here, you're starting to do that, and I would probably just do it like real hard, and then here I would just make that like super dark. And it's just slowly adding the shape that you need to put into it. Like a really hard line there. So and that's where I'm at. That's what I want to do. And you're right, like the copper plating, you can't really add value, so you have to just do the cross hatching. And that's actually one of the reasons I started doing the cross hatching. Except not for copper plates, I was looking at like wood block carvings, and Todd McFarlane does a really good job with that. Like he does not use any opacity at all. He just uses line weight. His line weight is just beautiful, and he had a lot of years of practicing with a pen and a brush, and it's hard to replicate that without doing that. So that's kind of where my art style comes from, is trying to replicate those things. Tim Roth has such tiny eyeballs. He does, yeah. Instead of where, like, I would normally for a superhero pose, I would do something like that. Tim Roth's kind of slope, and they're very flat. They're very, very. I guess they're long. They're long, so really like that. Yeah. So let's get back to a black pen, and let's. Angular, like not pointy is a way to think about it, I guess. Right? Is that a good way to do it? No, it is. It is. Annoyingly insensitive or slow to understand. An angle of more than 90 degrees. So you're being prickly. You're being pointy. You're being obtuse. You're being like jutting. Yeah. It is used as a way that people act, but it is meant to describe pointy things. Okay. Oh, I lost my Tim Roth picture. Let's go back here. Okay, so he's got great eyelids. Here we go. And then this is a whole bunch of shadows right here, which is great. It's got good wrinkles. There are some people that are really fun to draw. Like Morgan Freeman, really fun to draw. Tim Roth, really fun to draw. Who's the other guy? Yeah, I mean, just things that make people look unique, are great. And Tim Roth has some really good, like, facial structure that is it's just fun. It's just fun to draw. Okay, let's do that. Who are you to point the finger? Sorry, that's a Perfect Circle song. Wait, is that a Tool song or a Perfect Circle song? Shoot. I may have just offended a whole bunch of Tool fans. Wait, are you all too young for Tool? Is that what I'm discovering? Maybe. Oh man, well then I have to introduce you to some interesting videos. Oh yeah, no, this is good stuff. I didn't. Actually, I might have. Okay. I have that. I sneeze and I can make my whole back pop. I don't know if that's healthy. Because of being old. Yeah, I used to have rib problems like that. It's so good. Yep. Welcome to the the late 90s? When did that come out? Let's see. The song came out. I can't take it. Oh, it was released 2001, so it was early 2000s. Well, you said it might. There's a date. I just gave you a date. You can answer that question yourself. 2001 is when the song was released. Oh, I'm sorry. That's when the. Yeah. See if this is another good one. Oh yes, so good. If you like bass, that song is the best. I love it. When did that one come out? Ooh, that came out 2006. There you go. I haven't listened to this stuff in forever. It's great. It's good stuff. Good stuff. So you can see now what I'm doing is I could stop, make a new layer, and go over it. But now I'm actually painting with value using lines, which is weird. And I do not see other artists do this, and it looks kind of messy, and I'm totally fine with it. Yes, that is a legit thing to do, Andres. You can make multiple layers. You just have to do it intentionally and not cowardly. Yeah. I'd better save everything. Just save the whole darn file. If that's what you're doing. Layers, you can definitely save a layer, but you shouldn't be saving every line to a layer. If you want to do that, just switch to vector art. And that's totally legit. Man, now I want to listen to that song. If you can hear this in YouTube, please let me know, because I don't want to get sued, but I got to listen to this song now, because it's so good. To pay for the Tool rights. Joke's on you, sucker. I just punched a hole in the water pipes. So good. So good. It was like Tool the Pot, and then it was Drum Run from Halo. That was the only music I listened to. I lost my Tim Roth picture again. Hold on a second. I mean, it's just, if you haven't played Halo, you're not weird. You're just, you know. Halo was a game changer. It was good. It was solid. It kicked off a whole. It did. Yep. It changed how FPSs work. Pushed me into game design, which I thought was pretty great. And Bungie will not hire me, so on them, I guess. That's a good question. Why not, Bungie? If you're listening, why not? No, they have a very specific art style, and I don't think I fit it, which is totally legit. Bungie's pretty good for other game compared to game companies. Yes. Struggle to adapt to it, and just kind of forcefully not doing it. Well, we just talked about that. Maybe you weren't here for that conversation. It's one of those things where it's like, if you're trying to get a job at a company, absolutely copy their style. Prove to them that you can do it, and then also show them what you can do different. Because if they're just looking for technical artists, like someone that's just like, can you reproduce our stuff? Like if you're working for Disney or if you're working for... shoot, I had another one in mind. Definitely show them that you can do their work. And then, like, how are you unique from other people? What makes you better than them? So I did not spend the time to copy Bungie's style. They have a very painterly style. They have very unique brush sets that are kind of ubiquitous between their companies because they hire very few artists. And I just didn't do that. So I totally don't actually... I'm not mad at them for not hiring me. I totally get it. But yeah, they didn't hire me, so that's fine. I'll probably apply again in a year. The other problem was they hire a lot of people. Them and Nintendo both hire a lot of people from DigiPen and Vancouver Film School. And when I applied for those schools, I got into those schools. And then they were like, okay, so you can't work for a year while you're coming to our school, and it's going to cost you $120,000. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm good. Yep. So... I'm going to have to draw a lot of dragons boinking cars to pay for that, right? Sure. Ooh, this jaw is not good. Stop it. Andreas, you were not here for the conversation we had yesterday. We are furloughing any country jabbing for the time being. You guys were poking fun at, and we need to not do it anymore for a while. I mean, keep it to the DMs. Just like, just don't flirt with each other while we're on stream. That's all I ask for. Sorry, now I got Tool stuck in my head. I'm gonna have to listen to that later. How's that going? Is that starting to look like Tim Roth? It's not. That eyeball is wrong. fucking different. This looks very clean, cartoony, and this is just different. So this is actually an interesting... I'm not using my reference image of Tim Roth is not this direction. This is not actually a very good photo study because I'm just trying to slap Tim Roth features on a head that I have. This eye is wrong. Yeah, I'm just using the photo for reference, and I'm trying to draw a Tim Roth inspired person's face. Such thick eyebrows. I think his yeah, there we go. Hello? Who just jumped in? Drow, welcome. Welcome to the chat. You are really quiet. We should set up a fund for Discord people in the chat who need better mics. You're gonna be in the Discord. You gotta have a good sound quality. For the most part, I think everybody's pretty good, actually. Drow just tends to be a little quiet. Oh, his jaw is actually more protruded than that. You know, I really like the Snowball brand. I think they're pretty good. I had one of the blues for a long time. So I had a Snowball for a long time. Yeah, the Yeti is pretty good. The Snowball is really good. Hashtag not sponsored. For small rooms. So if you have two people talking close to each other, the Snowball's great. If you need more of a, like, something like this, where it's just me talking into the microphone by myself and no one else around me is heard, the Yeti's a lot better. My issue with both of them is they are USB and they have their own processor. So trying to get, like, actual audio levels from them is hard. Like, you can't just do real audio work with them. So if you want to be like an audio medium or a musician, I would not buy them. But if you're just streaming or hanging out, I think they're great. I love them for my desktop. I would not recommend them. I mean, I personally would not recommend a mic to anybody because I've not used them. I have a few musician friends that I would probably ask them first or ask for references. He's got such a pinched bridge. Yeah, I tend to not... Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I moved to PC, because they just have more functionality than the consoles. Yeah. Yeah, well, like the thing with the Xboxes, they were actually being sold at a loss for a long time because they were making all their money back in games, and now it's now you're just buying a computer, and that's fine. If you want to look into the Steam boxes, I think the Steam box was a really good idea. Buying a personalized computer for Steam, you might as well just buy a good gaming PC and have fun. Conversations out of context. Dragons boinking cars. I might have to have that conversation again. I'm going to do some curls first, though. I'll tell you the story. For those of you that missed this conversation, there's a thing on the internet there's a thing on the internet called weird. There are communities on the internet that I'm not a part of, but I have a friend that paid for his entire college career by drawing dragons boinking cars for people, because that's apparently a fetish that I didn't realize existed until he told me about it. So, if you gotta pay for something, you gotta find a niche, and if you find your niche, you know, sometimes it's dragons boinking cars. So that's become my go-to, like, you know, if you gotta make money, you gotta make money. Don't go to college, it's a trap. I don't know if college is a trap necessarily, but I don't know if you need to do it right now. It depends on what you want to do. That could be true. It really, once again, college depends on your vocation. If you don't know what you want to do with your life, don't go to college. Wait till you know what you want to do, and then go to college. Because having a college degree in like general studies or, I don't know, art, doesn't necessarily get you in the door. So, if you want to be an artist, you could do without college if you are motivated enough. If you can drive yourself enough to practice, study, and iterate your art, get better at it, you don't need college. If you don't know how to do that, college can definitely be helpful. So, it's... being a what? Oh yeah, no, being in debt sucks. Being in debt sucks a whole bunch. So I've drawn this face for a while now, and I think I'm running into the same issues. Thanks. Thanks, Andres. Maybe don't go to college. So what have we done here? Why does this look so strange? Maybe it just looks strange because it doesn't have hair. 2/3. The mouth is too low. So from the nose, we need to break this into thirds. His mouth should be right here. That looks better. That's what the problem was. And then we're going to do, there's a bump right here. A bump on the face. A bump on the face. And this is just fictitious. That doesn't exist. Those are really cool. We went to PAX many years ago when Halo was super, super popular, and everyone was lined up to meet the voice actress for Cortana. There's this huge line, and my friends walked up to the booth and were like, "Hey, yeah, we did it. We're here." And Marty O'Donnell was standing there, and Martin O'Donnell is the guy that did all the music. And we were like, "Oh, holy crap, it's you!" And he's like, "Oh, people," because like no one was talking to him. And we started talking to him, and he was really cool. And we got his autographs and stuff, and we talked to him about music. And then while we were doing that, like people in the line to meet the voice, I should look up her name, to meet Cortana, were like looking at us like, "Who's this guy? Should we be talking to this guy? Should we be in line?" And we were just like, I mean, Marty O'Donnell, this guy's great. you guys need to learn your musical composers. They're awesome. So. I think he had some issues with them in later. If you haven't checked out the books for Halo, I highly recommend them. They're pretty good. Yeah. Ghosts. What is that? Ghosts is really good. Ghosts of Onyx? Oh, I don't remember now. Space Zombies. No, the Flood is great. Their zombies a bit cooler. Did I curve this wrong? Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, I can't. Great. So, anybody in the YouTube chat, we're listening to the entire lore of Halo right now, so that's cool. There's a thing that happens in this chat a lot where someone will just go off on a tangent about like let me explain this video game to Rookzer0, who is the only person the chat can hear. You're the one perpetuating this. There's wait. Okay, this is interesting. So there's a cult of people. I have to reiterate it so we can talk about it. There's a cult of people that sacrifice people to the Flood. Are they part of the Covenant or are they part of the humans? Gross. Gross. Yeah. Halo's got some pretty good stuff. No, it was just me yelling at people. It's just me. Yeah, Jenkins. I in one of the books they talk about him a little bit, and then I assume they just probably keep iterating on him through the next books. Thank you, Rugby. All right. So what have I done to this face? Let's take a look at it. Let's zoom out. Jeez. Let's see what we did here. Ooh. Yeah, I made him look sad again. I moved his mouth down again. How do I keep doing this? I did not know that. Once again, Halo lore. That's better. That's a better face. The face is kind of crooked. The face should not be crooked. The face should be more straight. Thank you, Andreas. Your critique is not helpful. DV. There we go. Boop. Well, I didn't ask for your critique. I don't know anything about this, but here's what I think. It's like, well, just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. It's okay to be quiet. I don't know if you knew that or not. It's okay to be quiet sometimes. No, I actually think it's totally fine. I wanted to say I'm totally fine with you guys talking about Halo from time to time. Don't think I want to discourage that. Just be aware that if you have to go into a top 5 or 10 minute tirade, I have to be quiet, and the YouTube chat is going to get real bored. So keep your conversations concise or engaging. Like if it's a thing we can talk about, that's cool. I totally appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this a little wider. That's better. That's better. We're getting somewhere now. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's like, well, I have a couple of games. Yeah, the lore extends into the books, which are good. The books are good. So definitely, don't get me wrong. I don't mind. No, we just need to be careful about how much lore we're dumping on the 3 people in the chat, right? So, and that goes for everything. Especially, I really like hearing people's D&D stories. No, it's not a spoiler thing. So it's just I like hearing people's D&D stories too. But every now and again we get into like, let me tell you about my D&D story for 20 minutes, and it's like I can't do that. I don't want to interrupt you, but everybody, we just need to be aware of how much we're talking and interacting with people. So and that's kind of the downside to the. I like this medium. I like talking to people in the Discord, and I wish I could bring it open to the YouTube, but I can't. So, that's kind of the weird. There's a lot of. Ha! Princess Peach is pretty funny. Well, I don't think this looks like Tim Roth, but it could be the eyes. I think it looks like a person, which is good. The jaw is too prominent. Let's do that. Chin should probably be more rounded. Let's do this. What did you just say? I don't think so. Did I make his eyes too close together? No, that's about right. That's about right. Great. We got real. Oh, Jesus. Okay, great. Awesome. I feel like I've lost control of this group 30 minutes earlier than normal. I might just go do my own stuff today. I'm glad I got to work on a little art. But you guys, you're welcome to hang out and talk about whatever the crap it is you guys are talking about. You guys can argue about the sound of forces of nature all you want. Speaking of what, like, interpretations of death, if you haven't seen, what is it? Good Omens. Good Omens is great. I think they did a good job there. That's a cool interpretation of death as a physical being. That's weird. Why you don't have access to it? I think it's on Amazon Prime. Fair enough. I live in the greater Seattle area, so since I have Amazon Prime, I can get everything like delivered the next day. It's pretty great. I guess it's right by the packaging plant. Is that how you say that? The packaging plant. I don't know what you would call that. Yeah, if you work at Amazon, I'm sorry. I don't tell them to give me next day shipping. It just is. So it's not. I hear it's not a great place to work, which is kind of a bummer. You think if a company is that big, they could do what they want. But yeah, I don't know if there's anybody in the YouTube chat. If you're in the Corvus, thank you for being in the YouTube chat, by the way. Bri, welcome as well. I don't know what happened today. So I think Tim Roth, actually, his proportions are wrong. He's got a very long jaw compared to his head, which is kind of the interesting thing about drawing faces, is the standard rules for what works and what doesn't is a good starting point, and then you really gotta, go crazy with it and do what you want. Whoop, 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 whoop. Nope. Exaggeration. Yeah, I think so. Who's this? Yeah. I think you're right. I've heard that before, especially with doing sculpture. Like, the proportions are the most important part, and then everything else just kind of fits together. Oh man, I don't know what's happening now. Everything's just going weird. Yeah. Okay. Shut up. Talking back. No, I was saying Alexa telling you to shut up. Like, I don't do your bidding. He's got a smoldering look. That's very true. This is real smooth. This is like this. Whatever we're doing right here, it's not that. No, I think we're getting somewhere. It's not Tim Roth, definitely, but it's looking better for a face. I think we're doing better. This is kind of the issue I was having. Oh my god, I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. I'm really bad at conversation. I don't know if people know this or not. And the reason I say I'm bad at conversation is because I'm just not good at small talk. I like talking about things. So when people bring up stuff that has, like, I'm not interested in, I'm really bad at talking about it. So that's something I need to work on, though. That's something I definitely need to work on. Who is Tim you speak of, Rook? Tim Roth, he's an actor. He's been in a lot of cool stuff. This definitely doesn't look like him by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know. I'm going to look at the proportions again. Nose, eyes, hairline. Yeah, Tim Roth, really cool. He was in the one of the Hulk movies, which was pretty great. He was the Abomination, which was pretty cool. He was in Pulp Fiction. He was in Lie to Me. It's a cool series that was on for a while. Well, I mean, yes, it was based on that. Whether or not that's true, I mean, it's cool. It's cool information. Still a TV show. Was in Lie to Me. Yeah, Hellbent. That's Lie to Me. It's a really cool show. Got a really cool face. He's got a really cool face. It's fun to draw. He's got like his jawbone does something like this, and then it kind of cuts a General Bone. It's like General Grievous, but Skeletor. My name's General Bone. Like, that's not very original. Shut up. Prepare to be boned. We make that joke all the time. Because Kevin the Necromancer always has skeletons. Anytime someone summons a skeleton. Oh, wow. Thank you, Hunter. Oh, no. That's so many push-ups. I don't know how much that is. How much does that equate? Let's figure it out. What are we looking at? It's still 100 push-ups. That's not fair. It looks like it's about 10 bucks. We'll do 12. Hey, that doesn't look so bad from across the room. That looks pretty good. We're getting somewhere. We're getting faces. We're getting faces done. Here we go. I do appreciate all the tips. Everyone that's helping this channel keep growing and keeping me active. There is also, I think Super Chat is enabled. So if people want to, if you don't want to tip $20, you can always throw a sticker on there that's like $2 or something like that. We have to come up with something for the super stickers. If someone does a sticker, we're gonna have to do like 5 push-ups or something. I think that's the way to do it. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We're getting close. We're getting close to our goal, so we'll see what happens. I have a secret goal that I'm not telling anybody about, that when we reach, I will quit my job. Got to get a walking desk. Currently, the YouTube channel, even with your beautiful tips, are not enough for me to have this be my only source of income. So I do have to have a job that is, it's okay. Yep. No. We do what we must, Rook. Exactly, yeah. I'm not saying... There's a reason that I haven't put an actual price on it, because it's fluid and it's something I got to work out. So right now, a lot of the funding, especially like the Patreon money is going to basically funding the stickers and the shirts and stuff like that. So that way I can start building up a reservoir of stuff, basically, so we can do things like that. How would that work? So the Patreon right now is basically supporting. Yeah, no, I mean, it is. It is going towards food and stuff. But the Patreon is basically supporting the business side of things. So it's paying for Photoshop. It's paying for all this other stuff so I can keep that going. The tips on here, same thing. They're kind of going into a pool. I'm not going out and buying a bunch of dumb stuff. So I really appreciate that. It is going towards something good, I hope. And we can keep building this as a cool little channel. I haven't seen what you're drawing. Let's take a look. Jiminy Christmas. All right. Ah! That's pretty good. Draw what you're gonna draw, everybody. I think we gotta convince Jonas to set up a Patreon, and then we can get that going. I think you would easily surpass me with the Patreon page. The big thing about that though is like it is different when you start. I'm applying for my LLC here real soon. I think in the U.S. at least, I'm gonna have to file taxes and stuff for all of this. So it's like I'm gonna set it up as a single owner business, and then from there I can actually start. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's weird. It's taxed differently. So, but it's all something I have to keep track of. So doing something like a Patreon, it is it's work. You gotta keep track of it, and you have to follow your state and follow your dreams and follow your state laws. But that's part of it. So that's part of the process. I am currently. Follow your dreams, not the laws. I don't think that's good advice. That's terrible advice, and don't take that. Andreas, stay in school. Hey, some people might want creepy Naga things. Yeah, business paperwork is work. It is. Gotta build that sticker book. I'm actually thinking about the sticker book, Heldman. I think that's a cool idea. There are online right now on the Redbubble, you can basically order like notebooks. You can buy blank paged notebooks with stuff on it. So I think I'm going to get one of those with rugby on the front, and then just start putting the stickers in there. But as things go, like I'm saying, so this is a business ish. Like it's still very much just me working on it. But we are growing, and I think that's great. And eventually, at some point, we will have a whole thing going. Exactly, right? I want to be able to hire people at some point, but we're not there yet. We're still trying to hire me, and as soon as I can hire me, then I don't need a job, right? Like that's the thing. I got to be able to hire myself first. So there's a whole bunch of steps before that happens, but all of it does spawn from the generosity of the group. So I think it's great, and I love it, and I really like this kind of working where I can just sit down and hang out with people. So, what's up, Andres? Unpaid interns. Yeah, I probably have enough clout to get unpaid interns from the university. I need 10 people to make YouTube videos for me. But I think we're doing better with this drawing. I think we're getting somewhere that's I know your pain. I have 4 YouTube videos in the works right now, and I'm just not doing them. Yesterday, I was thinking to myself, like, I need to make this. I'm gonna make a potion video. Is what the first video is gonna be for this new series. I'm like, I'm gonna sit down and do it, and I started to sit down and doing it. Like, I should really hang that pegboard, and then that turned into water damage, and then that turned into going to the store and ripping down drywall, and now I don't know when I'm gonna do any of those things. So, yeah, super fun. You gotta file a. Washington's really weird. Washington is really weird. It's like, oh, you need to change the light bulb? You need a contractor to do that. It's like, I need a what now? That's not cool. It really depends on where you live and what you're doing. But I had to look. Yesterday I spent an hour reading all of the zoning laws to see whether or not I could fix my own wall. Turns out I can. So it's not actually that big of a deal. It's just a lot of work. I believe in Seattle, if you live in the Seattle area and you do not own the property, so if like you're renting in Seattle, you have to either call your landlord or have a contractor come and change anything electrical, because you are not legally allowed to touch things like that. I could be totally wrong, but depending on what you're doing in Washington, if you own the property or not. Yeah, exactly. Helbin's right. It's very, very specific, and there are guidelines. And so that's something like if you own a house, which I'm trying to own a house, it's things you have to look up. You have to look it up. You have to check the ordinances. So. It is, yeah. It's very much, and like I said, part of the thing is like so for Washington, repairing pipe, if you own the house, you don't need a permit unless it's so much of the pipe is being changed or you're changing the actual work. So, huzzah, good. Small repairs are legitimate for owners. Man, actually, I'm really happy with this head that we drew today. Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice if when I bought the house, they had actually put the pipes in correctly. Because eventually, I think I'm gonna have to pay somebody to redo the whole damn house. Which, once again, that's another thing that you gotta pay for. So it's like, no, I have a house. So, yeah. Here in Seattle, the Seattle area. I don't actually live in Seattle. In the Seattle area, it's actually cheaper to have a mortgage than it is to rent right now, which is really strange. So, yeah, it's on the West Coast. Yeah, the greater Seattle area. It's a whole bunch of it. You can talk to the owner and pay the repairs yourself and take off the cost of your rent, certain up to the percent of the 3 months. Yeah, I think in Seattle specifically, you have to get approval from your landlord because they're the owner, and then they give you permission to do it. And it's like it's this whole thing, or you can just hire a professional licensed person to do this stuff, and that's what most people do. But yeah, apparently, if you want to learn how to do PEX, which is like the new plastic tubing, which I think is really cool. I would totally be into that, but you have to be certified for it. And it's like, is that a process I want to do? Maybe it is, and who knows? Is that another vocation that I can pick up? So, it is. It really is. PVC. I don't know why. I think you just have to be certified in the laws of like how things are supposed to be attached, which once again, I don't think the person that owned this house before me did. Don't think they know how to do it. And so, yeah, when we first moved in, we had one of our bathrooms just basically explode. Like water was just like, we're like, what's going on? Turns out they used a garden hose to attach something. And I'm like, yeah, they had like garden hose inside the wall attaching the things. Apparently, yeah. So that I paid a plumber to do. I was like, hey, can you come fix this? This is bananas. Yeah, it's super weird. So, yep. It absolutely is. Yeah, I mean, this house is so old. This house is so old that like it could have been put in 20 years ago. Who knows? But yeah, our garden hose just popped one day, and I was sitting there. I'm like, "What's that noise?" Mind bending and such. Yeah, I really want to. I think I might just get the PEX certification. I'm not sure how much it costs, but that might be fun to do. Might be fun to do, and then spend the time to do it. And then you got to file permits, and you got to do stuff. It's like, hey, whatever. So I don't think this looks like Tim Roth, but I'm happy with this face. I think this is a pretty good face. It looks good from both angles. It's got some good lines. Yeah, maybe if Tim Roth was super buff and a space cowboy. He's an actor. You gonna check out my old school boob drawings? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, yeah. I can still do it. I can still do it right here. Like yeah, and then you got your six pack. You got your six pack right here, and that's the only part of the body. And you're just like, yeah, I'm so buff. And you got big muscles. That's it. That's how 10-year-olds draw. Hurr. So buff. And chicken legs. Isn't there only like 6 episodes of Mr. Bean? It's like anthologies, right? Mr. Bean anthologies. Yeah, Rowan Atkinson's great. Another fun person to draw. Another fun person to draw. He's got a very animated face. Jim Carrey's a good one. It took an hour and me talking about plumbing, but we finally got back on track. It is almost noon, but I don't know. I have to go back and do more work. Am I making a peon from Warcraft? No, I don't think so. I could, I guess. I just like drawing buff dudes. Who doesn't draw like buff? Great. Yeah, I want to get that. I want to get that other video out. I want to get that video. I got so many video ideas. I feel like what I might be able to do is if we go back to the 3 days a week, I might just spend Tuesdays and Wednesdays working on videos, and then I'd be able to produce more actual videos. Because like right now, I could have been working on this video all morning. Would I have, though? That's the question. Would I have actually done that? Or would I have chopped more wood? Because I tend to do that, too. I'm really good at procrastinating by doing other work. And I don't know why. Do people actually use Siri? I don't know if that's a thing. Yeah, let's see. I just got the new, like a few weeks ago, my phone exploded, so I had to get a new phone. Yeah. And I got one of the new ones, and it's got Bixby on it, which is like Siri, but only for things your phone can do, which is really weird. So now it's just like there's all these things in your phone just listening for you, and it's like I'm gonna turn all that off. I'm gonna turn off everything on my phone here, and just use my thumbs. That's kind of the thing that I'm trying very hard for my patron to shame on you Get out of my channel. No, I think once again, Evolve was a huge disappointment for me. I was so sad about it. I wrote it into my thesis how bad it was. It had a lot of potential and it failed in almost every aspect. The art was super good. The art was amazing. Yeah, they did a lot of. They really yeah. Yep. They really needed to make that game. They tried to make it like small, quick things. It needed to be set up. It needed to be built. The monster basically needed to be able to do the way they set up the gameplay was like jumping into a queue and going. What didn't fit that mechanic. The monster really should have been able to exist, and then hunters should have been able to come into their world. And because when you jump in as the monster and you don't have anything, it's like, why don't I have anything? I live here. Like, I should be able to set up traps and I should be able to set everything up. And then, yeah, it really just doesn't make any sense the way they did it, and it wasn't fun. But yeah. That's the thing. Like, all the monsters should exist, and it really, if Monster Hunter, the way Monster Hunter is set up, worked the way Evolve thought it did, that would be a cool game. Because like the monsters just exist in a world, they're doing their own thing, they're crafting, and then PvP people come in and try to hunt you. Like it's like like that would work better than what they did. Yeah, it really should feel more of a PvP instead of a challenge like fight, because hunters that are just always running don't feel like hunters, and monsters that are always running don't feel like they're really monsters. They're just a thing to be chased. Yeah, there's not enough stalking in that game. There's not enough because the gameplay mechanics they showed off were like the hunters landing and like taking their time and like setting up things, and it's like that never happens. They just drop in and try to shoot the thing. It's just it's their core mechanics were bad. Um, yeah, it doesn't. The way they did it, just they didn't set up their game right, and there was a lot of pre-planning that just went through. And then the fact that they called it Evolve just pisses me off. But that's for a completely other reason. It has nothing to do with evolution. Period. In any way, state, or form. The art was amazing. Andreas, you're wrong. You're just wrong. Shoot, am I? I didn't look. Oh dang. I don't remember what my goal is. I think it was live. I don't remember what I said though. Yeah. Let me take a look. Yeah, welcome to the Hobgoblins. Sure. Nice. Thank you. So there is something we are having an issue with is I don't know, Jonas, I don't know if you've gotten your stickers yet. I mailed them. I properly mailed them and I gave them to the post office, and I'm like do it, and they're like sounds good. So we'll see what happens. But if you don't get those sticker packages anytime soon, we'll find out a better way to get those to you guys. I think we might just have to order them from somewhere and have them mail them to you. Right. It's kind of somebody is getting some really cool stickers somewhere. Yeah, let's see what's going on. Wow, yeah, we're doing real good. So Jonas, back to what you were talking about. You don't know what you would give people. Yeah, that was something I struggled with too, because like I wanted, like I said, I want to give my art to everyone for free. Like if you want to use one of my arts for, or one of my pieces for your character sheet, like you can do that. Yeah. I mean, that's one way you can do it. Like, here's my stuff. P.S. Pay me money. You get to see the naughty bits. That's what a lot of people do. But I have not yet done that. But yeah, so for a long time, for hey, I'm not opposed to getting paid money for stuff. Sometimes you gotta draw dragons boinking cars. That's all I gotta say. You gotta do what you gotta do. Um, yeah, actually, we are almost there. Buttons in the middle of your screen. What are you talking about? Evolve has many issues, but the character stories and art was great. And then the car alarm goes off. Right, yeah. I think I was so excited for Evolve. They had such a good start, and then they just made a crap game, and it's so sad. So it looks like we're really close to our goal. You're right, which was monthly rewards to the bugbears and above. Which I might be able to do that. We might be able to do that if we hit 250. I can start getting the stickers more frequently, which is good. I can also start printing out things and sending those out. Um, I am gonna have to. No. Let me think about how I want to do that. I can totally do that. So a stamp costs 50 cents. A sticker costs $1. It's $1.50. So everybody that pays $5, yeah, yeah, we can do that. So we're super close to the Patreon goal of being able to get new stickers every month, which will be super cool. Um, Sorry, I stopped paying attention. What happened? 55 cents. Yeah. Oh, meme chat. Oh, that's super dope. That is pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Uh, we'll find out. Snake legs. That is super exciting, actually. Yeah. So we're getting real close to that goal. I am gonna have to set up a monthly game for D&D, though. I guess. I guess that's how that's gonna be. That was the goal. Yeah. Because I told myself. I think we will play Pathfinder. Yeah. I have Pathfinder Second Edition, so maybe we'll do that. Um, So the way the Pathfinder Second Edition works, in concurrent with Pathfinder First Edition, is Second Edition has a different combat mechanic. So there, yeah. Well, it's more so that they changed the way combat works so that it will be faster and cleaner, much more to how Fifth Edition works. And then they also truncated race building and feats. So now, whereas with Pathfinder First Edition, you have all of D&D 3.5, all of Pathfinder, and every level you get a feat, you can have a feat, and then there's like combat feats. With all of that is cleaned up, is all it is. Pathfinder Second Edition is a new game style, but all of the Pathfinder 1 stuff is backwards compatible. So you can adapt all of Pathfinder 1 stuff to it. Yeah. It is designed to be a new way to play Pathfinder, with the old stuff still being viable, but not necessarily required. Does that make sense? So like I think the way they worked it now, you can still use all the old monster manuals, and you have to increase the CR of the creature by 2. I believe, because everybody has 2 actions now instead of a standard action or a full round action. Yeah, it's I'm still learning it because I just got the books. I ordered. Yeah, you have actions and you can choose how to use it to do things. So it's, yeah, I'm over. Are they frustrating? I'll have to look. I haven't looked at the character sheets yet. I will definitely look at that tonight. But that could be a fun thing to do. So I think what we'll do, we are close to that goal, so I will have to start thinking about it. Oh man, that's super good. That's super good. Yeah. Yeah, D&D Beyond, Hero Lab's another one. Roll20 has a cheap way to do it. Yeah, that might be the next goal. If we hit this first goal, we can hit the second goal as like me buying the D&D stuff or D&D Beyond stuff so that we can all play with that. So that might be the second goal we reach for. Yeah, so what you're talking about right now, Aegis Online, depending on how you want to say it, that's what he's developing. There's a couple out there that are doing that, where they're trying to incorporate like the character sheets and the world building into a tabletop simulator type scenario. Right now, it's not. It's something that I've been helping work on. It's not done yet, and it's definitely not easily accessible to everybody. Like, you have to know how to use Blender to really like, make custom stuff. So that's something else I've been looking at, trying to find ways to like make packages for them to just like, here's all the Pathfinder stuff, or here's all of this, and you can just load it in. Still working on that, but it's getting there. And Tabletop Simulator is a good way to work with that right now. Blender's surprisingly good for free. Surprisingly good for free. I hate their interface. You hear that, Blender guys? Make your interface better. Oh! All right. Yeah, that's the question. Is why not both? So the one that we, oh god, it's gone insane again. Basically, the way we'd have to look at it is with a monthly game. If I would not stream it, I think is the big thing. I think for the Patreon members, that would not be something we'd stream. So it would probably be 4 or 5 people from the Patreon group, and then and basically it would be a tier system. So the people that are the top tiers, and then second tiers, and the third tiers. Like, can you make this time? Do you want to play? And then go from there. And no, it's just the people that are the higher tier people that have first dibs for the slots, and if they can't make a game, we can figure that out. But going from that, most likely what I would do is I would run something that, like, there's the way we've always done is we call it the Pathfinder Society, which I think is an actual thing in game, where the stories all start with a your character is a member of this society, is a member of this place, And so you can get hired out to do adventures. And they would be a lot of one-shots, I think is the way to do it. Like, 1 or 2 weeks in a row. And that way, if people need to leave or they can't make it 1 month, that's fine. We just grab someone else and we go. Yeah, they are. They're just missions. So it's like a mission board. And I think that's the best way to do that kind of thing where we have a lot of people. And that way, people can interact with other people. And if they can't make it 1 week, that's fine. And sometimes, it's a lot of work for me. And that's why I put a limit of like, I won't be able to do this until I can spend 10 hours doing it every week. So I think that would be the best way to do it. And then, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely an option. Yeah, it can be fun. It can be a lot of fun. That's a way that it works. Rook Rookzer0's mission board. That's pretty funny. I like that. Helping, that's a fun idea. Oh man, Pathfinder poisons are stupid. I hate it so much. They really don't work well at all. So if you ever play Pathfinder with me, I usually use 5th edition's poison rules because I think it's better. Or I just use poison as a damage type. So like, that's supposed to do 1d4 con damage. It just does an extra d6 of damage. Like, yeah, that's not yeah. So in Pathfinder, the poisons all do stat damage, which is just complicated and idiotic. Yeah. There's stat damage, there's stat drain, there's level damage. It's like it's not worth doing. It's really really crap. I have had people. I had a boss that was level 14 and my party's level 12 and they were gonna get wrecked. And then 3 different people all decided to use their strength drain on this guy until he couldn't move, and then they just beat the living crap out of him. And I was really proud of my group. I was like, that was clutch, because you were all about to be dead. That was so good. So in that situation, I allowed it because they were like, holy crap, we could stack these. These aren't the same debuff. And I'm like, try it. And I failed 2 saves, and it saved them. And I was like, great. Most of the time, I will just negate it because I don't think it's fun. But in that situation, they did a really cool thing. So that's one option. The other option is that we do a prison break type thing where everybody... Actually, I don't know if anybody's played... what's it called? Dungeon Hack. That's not the right one. That's the old one. Legend of Grimrock. Legend of Grimrock is a really cool concept where you make 4 characters and you're like stuck together and you have to try to escape a dungeon. That could be another really cool way to do this. Here's the Dungeons and Dragons. That might be similar. But if we do it that way, yeah, if we play it that way, there's not going to be a lot of world building, which might make people upset. But it's a lot of like very enclosed world building. So there would be NPCs and stuff inside this prison that people would have to interact with. So I think I've delayed myself long enough. I need to get back to work and get my water heater turned back on. Yeah, hit me. What's your last question? So what you're talking about is basically one min-maxer who has overblown the party. That is not an issue. It is something that DMs have problems with. But if you're running into that issue, you basically have to build your parties accordingly. So now I say that, I have a player who has, well, I'm just going to say Kevin the Necromancer has 38 armor. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The next, at level 12, 38 armor. And the next highest person in the party has an armor of 22. So for me to have something that can hit Kevin, it can one shot everybody in the party. And so the issue is not a problem of, okay, I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff that can hit Kevin. I have to find other ways around that. So there are definitely things that can hit Kevin. AoEs, magic missile, yeah, exactly. So if you have somebody that's, Ace has been here. Welcome, by the way. Call Buff Boy Roth to solve the water issue. Buff Boy Roth? Is Buff Boy Roth a plumber? Why not both? Yeah, it'll most likely be both. But so back to this quandary. If you feel like one person in your party is just way OP compared to everyone else, it means you're building your encounters poorly for the party. And one way around that is, like, I mean, it has to be every encounter has to be custom built, and it's really hard to not fall into the trope of, once again, you versus the DM. And so you have to say, what would be fun, knowing that Kevin has 38 armor. Throwing 45 goblins at them probably won't be fun because they can't do anything to him, and he's just going to tramps through them. So really what I have to do is I have to think, what would be a challenge for them? Because if they just run into, like, that party, that level 12 party, no longer goes to fight goblin encampments. It's pointless. So the world changed around them is how it is. It's like you guys are basically only being paid to do things that are godly tiered, that are terrifying, that other people can't deal with. You can still do that. Yeah. Don't think about dealing with the one person. Think about the party as a whole. So you have one person who is really tough and lots of damage. Yes. So let me talk about it. So you have that issue. That person basically has built their character to Kevin. This is the example I'm giving. A random Bodark appears. Kevin cannot be hit. So I don't worry about building the encounters around hitting him, because it's not going to matter. It's pointless, right? Like, Kevin has built his character to be super tough. He is. Cool. I want to hit things really hard. He has an undead skeleton that basically can grab anything, period, and kill it. So all of my encounters are basically, I don't need to worry about hitting Kevin, and when his character gets up to something, it's going to kill something. That is the first step that I've now written down. So all of my encounters cannot be one guy that hits really hard, because he will be grabbed and killed. And if he goes first and hits Kevin, nothing will happen, and then he's grabbed and killed. So you have to write down basically what your party is capable of, and then map out how you want the fight to go accordingly. So Kevin can take lots of hits, and his guy can kill one guy. So round one, what happens? I need at least one guy that's going to be killed by Kevin, most likely, and or something that can discover that Kevin's unhittable, or fight him a different way. So now you have rangers, you have gunslingers, you have mages, you have environmental effects that Kevin has to be careful of, because his reflex isn't so high. So if he gets in a situation where he can't dodge, because he's just like, I can walk through enemies, that's a bad thing. If you start having enemies that throw bombs that just do damage, AoE damage, or different things to that effect, it still will hurt him, but it's not going to one-shot the rest of the party. So it's not good to put those in every fight. Definitely, give them things that the rest of the party can deal with. Yeah, and it's just, you need to plan out each round instead of just an encounter. So start off, what is going to happen in this first round? Well, maybe I need to add more people, because 2 people fighting your party, in my party specifically, will lose in the first round every time. 2 people. So when I have a boss fight, it's like, I'm going to have the boss, then the boss is going to have 3 lieutenants, because that's at least 2 rounds of combat. Then each of those lieutenants are able to affect the environment in some way that if they're not stopped in the first round, something will happen. And then creatures are spawning all the time to kind of run interference. Sometimes those aren't even in the fight. They're just like causing red herrings to go through, right? That's how I build a boss fight. I build how many rounds can I make this last? And if it goes more than 5 or 6 rounds, it's not going to be fun. Because at that point, everyone's just swinging and hoping for the best. Yeah, so that's the strategy. Is just look at what can my players do in a round. So you look at rounds in one round. And then you look at what would make that round last longer. So I went 2 rounds of combat, round 2. I guess that should be round 2. And then if that should last longer, round 3, there should be different options that happen here. Because round 1, if the big bad boss goes first, is he going to kill somebody? Like, and then the fight's over, right? Because he killed the party. It's the same thing. You have to look at that. But you need to look 3 or 4 rounds out and see how much damage can this guy do to the party, and how much damage can the party do to him before you start looking back at adding people. I'm always in a 3rd round when I'm for Kevin, because I know first round someone's going to die, second round someone else is going to die. Like that's just how it is. So having more than 3 people is very important for me. I hope that helps. That was kind of weirdly complicated, but yeah, go for it. Nice. Mm-hmm. What is... So here's my current party. Hold on a second. This is the party I'm dealing with right now. So Kevin the Necromancer has 38 AC. Jump Rope can do 200 plus damage in a turn. And Reem is a gunslinger who always hits to touch and gets plus 25 to hit. So never misses, one-shots people, can't be hit. And that's my party. They're at the extremes. So if, and this is Mimsy, by the way. Mimsy. Mimsy has a plus 25 to grapple. So basically, Mimsy grabs somebody and then does, I think, like 6d6 points of damage when they successfully grapple, and then on consecutive grapples on every turn. So Mimsy this is how the fight start out. Mimsy runs in, kills something. Jump Rope runs in, kills something. Reem shoots somebody from the back. Kevin just stands there and waits, because he doesn't have to do anything. Round 2, somebody kills Jump Rope. Somebody runs at Reem. Reem goes, ah! Mimsy kills somebody. And now someone runs forward and attacks Kevin. Nothing happens. Round 3, Jump Rope is still dead. Reem is now dead because this guy ran up and killed him. Kevin's standing there perfectly fine. Mimsy kills somebody. Kevin walks over, revives Jump Rope. And then Reem is now like almost fully dead. And Jump Rope revives, kills somebody. Mimsy kills somebody. 6 things have died, and two players are down. That's how every fight goes. Round 3, so much death. And that's so. I tried once to very specialize. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a guy that is going to be a challenge for Mimsy to fight. Like, they're both really good at grappling. They're gonna clash, and it's gonna be down to the rolls. They should each have a 50-50 chance to do that. I'm gonna make. Yeah, it was supposed to be a wrestling match. And then I was like, these guys are going to be ranged, so Reem will be able to like have a shootout with them. That'll be great. They're fighting giants, and Reem can just be over here like pew 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 pew, because he's going to miss anyways. So I don't need, or he's going to hit anyways, regardless. So it doesn't matter if I give this person like tons of armor. He's just going to hit. I'm accepting that. I've also accepted that Jump Rope, if she hits somebody, she kills them. That's fine. That's just in my head. Here's what happened. Yeah. So we had a bunch of little tiny guys, 2 giants that were ranged, and a big dude, big demon, who is going to fight Mimsy. The game started. Mimsy runs at the giant. I'm like, that's not good. Reem runs at the giant. Jump Rope runs at this big guy. And here's what happens. Jump Rope gets grabbed. Jump Rope dies. Reem runs up to the giant. Dies. All the little guys run at Kevin, and the big guys start throwing rocks at Kevin. This guy dies. Yeah, no, it happens a lot. It happens a lot because she's just specialized in damage, and that's what the problem is. So building things that are specially to counter somebody are not good. The best way to do it is to reward this player having 38 AC. It's like, you know what? You're probably never going to get hit. How else can I build up something interesting for you? You're always going to kill something. Always. I'm fine with that. Even the bosses, it's like, there's a very good chance you're going to one-shot this boss. Let's see if you can do that. Reem, same thing. Always going to hit. Always going to hit. It's not something I think about that, like, I need to make sure they can't hit this person. It's just like, Reem, you're going to hit every time. You're going to do, on average, like 25 damage. So I either put creatures in the game that have less than 25 health. So all Reem has to do is shoot them once, and they're gone. Like, that's planned. Or I give things with, 50 health, like the little tiny minions. If they have 50 health, then he's going to have to take 2 shots. So that's taking up some of his economy. Or if he crits, he does kill it, and that's cool. That feels good. You're like, bam, yes, right? For Jump Rope is always going to kill something, so I need things that can, while they're little, maybe they're good at grappling, or maybe they're really good at dodging, right? But I don't want to make them so high that she misses all the time, because that sucks. That doesn't feel good. I can kill one thing, and I miss 90% of the time. So she should still have like a 50% chance, at the most, to miss. Anything more than that doesn't feel good, right? And so the bosses all go to like 75%. And I use her as what's your plus to hit? She's got like a plus. If she doesn't have any buffs on, it's like 15. And if she does have buffs, it's like 26. And that's against armor, so that's normal. And that, once again, matches up. So she has a very small % chance, if she's all buffed up, to hit Kevin. Kevin can't really use magic on her, but can do this. And Reem can hit Kevin all the time, and she can one-shot Reem. So it's like, that's kind of, you have to almost fight your own team with it. Does that make sense? To figure out how to do that. And then Mimsy is just Mimsy. Mimsy just wrecks stuff. And yeah, what's similar to what Coville does. This is how I play on encounters. I think like what would be really cool, and I look up creatures, and then I adjust those creatures so that I can do this. But when Jump Rope dies a lot. Pathfinder 1 character sheets are super complicated. Yep. So really, if you have a character that is all three of these, right? The highest damage, highest armor, and yeah, this person is yeah, just is a Megazord. I've had this problem with like Cavaliers because their damage is so much higher than everyone else's at lower levels. You need to reward each of the players for what they're doing, right? So if someone is like, we're gonna call them the chosen one. The chosen one who's just like, I am all powerful. Roll that into the campaign. Like, make that the thing. Be like, party members are coming like, oh, we know this guy's super tough. We brought, 3 of our best dudes, and we're here to kill you. And then the rest of the party's like, well, no, we're going to save him. And they're like, this isn't about you. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, let that guy fight. Maybe we should help him. Or set up the story. For this, what I did is Jump Rope, I made her fight in a pit by herself. And I'm like, you and the person you're fighting could totally kill each other. It's going to be down to initiative and rolls. And it ended up taking 6 rounds because they just kept missing. Like, really bad rolls. Really bad rolls. See you later. Thanks for hanging out. It really is. Yeah, if you feel like they are breaking the game, then talk to them about it. Be like, I don't think you should be building this way. But at the same time, you can work around it. Like, there are always going to be some character disparities. I've had someone ask me on the YouTube chat, like, oh, my party members keep grabbing people and throwing them off cliffs. To which my response is, why do you keep putting cliffs by them? If your character is built to be this chosen one, like, I'm bigger than everybody, it might behoove you to play on that. Reward them for being that way. It's like, you have to save the rest of the party. If you don't, you're effed because of that. Like, you have to support the party. You have to help them. And really, I think a lot of that comes from if you keep throwing just mobs. And this is my example, is with the Cavalier. Like, oh, here's a big guy. Cavalier one-shots it. I was like, well, that wasn't fun for the party. Here's another big guy. The Cavalier one-shots it. Here's 15 guys. You can kill one of them. Now what? Like, that's the thing. So you have to reward them for being able to one-shot things. I think that's fine. Like, if you built that way, one-shot it. Great. How do you make it interesting for everyone else? Is the trick. Is figuring out that action economy, like where that's at. Cool. Yeah, shoots out a laser or something. Spear of Lightning's pretty sweet like that. Cast a lightning bolt. Yeah. So does that make sense, Andreas? I hope that helps. I'm not trying to say you're doing anything wrong. It's just it's combat is so dynamic that you really can look out apart it, like break it down into rounds and figure out where they are breaking the game. That's also that's a 5e weapon. Yeah, those exist. Those are pretty cool. Actually, I think Jump Rope has one of those in Pathfinder too. Yeah, a staff or a rod that turns into pretty cool item. Yeah, and so if you have trouble trying to figure out those encounters, that's definitely something to talk to the D&D chat about. Like, but that is just Devil May Cry. But yeah, okay. I hope that was my weird little rant for balancing encounters. Yeah, I think we're probably good. It's 12:30. But yeah. Cool. Thanks for hanging out today, everybody. Once again, thanks for supporting the Patreon as well as the YouTube channel. Yeah, we're getting close to that. I'm going to have to start working on my game stuff. That'll be interesting. But yeah, we'll build that out. I'm going to try to get those videos done today after I fix all my my house issues. We'll go from there. 5th edition is pretty similar, I feel. So I think 2nd edition Pathfinders, yeah, definitely. Tomorrow will be the free draw, so everyone can jump in and draw with us tomorrow. That'll be at the normal time, I believe, again. Let me think about what else I got going on. Yeah, that's it. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. You know, watch out for those Backstreet Boys. They're still at large, so. Backstreet's back! All right. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and we'll catch you later.